So here we are again having our LinkedIn conversation about all things that are happening on the LinkedIn platform. We started off this session towards the end of last year, and the feedback was so good that we said we'd come back at the start of this year and produce an updated session focusing a lot, obviously, on the LinkedIn platform, but for people that want to get more out of it, that may be looking for maybe a job or an opportunity using the LinkedIn platform. So what we're going to do today is we're going to focus in on some key topics that will help you get that opportunity, because there's a lot happening on the LinkedIn platform right now that you may not be already aware of. And on this discussion, we're going to cover a lot of those topics so that you can take away these insights and implement them and get more out of LinkedIn. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to cover off a topic that you've been covering in your newsletter and on a separate post most recently, is the brand model. And I came across it and I thought it was a fantastic piece. Do you want to go a little bit further into what this brand model is and how people can
I'm going to get my
implement
Post-it
it?
out.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm going to get my Post-it out just in case
There you
people
go.
haven't seen it. And it's basically brand yourself on LinkedIn. I think you can see it.
Perfect. Yeah, brilliant. Build content, refresh the profile, announce your intent, network with leaders, and design job alerts. And establish social proof. That is a really important finishing one there, is establish social proof. So the brand model, how where did this come up from, or how did you create it, and the likes?
Well, I have been seeing this whole movement about people being encouraged to create their own brands, right? Just like corporations and businesses have their brands, each one of us has something unique to offer. And we need to figure out a way to put that across. There's so much noise out there. Like you and I both, we found this, right? We give tips on LinkedIn or whatever, but there's a very clear difference in what we say. That's what makes us unique. And so building a brand becomes an essential part of being a part of today's world with the AI tools and everything. Because authenticity, honesty, and transparency are going to mean the most. And that's where I got the idea for, what is a brand? How do you build? What do you create when you say a brand? And as a very avid LinkedIn user, I explored a lot of the LinkedIn tools, have been exploring them. And I realized that it was easier to create a professional brand on LinkedIn than on any other social media platform. So that's where the idea comes from, that if you build content consistently, you keep your profile refreshed, right? You kind of, if something good happens, you want to put it out there in your professional field. Announce your intent. Are you looking for a job? Are you looking to network? Are you looking to grow your network? Are you looking for clients? And unlike other places, it's not a hard sell on LinkedIn. It's just a question of saying people are there to find out what you do. So it's your job to tell them what you do. And networking with leaders in your field, whether you're looking for a job, whether it's just for your personal development, there are so many thought leaders and leaders in various industries out there. I mean, there are things that I have learned from other people, which I can't make the time to actually learn on my own. But reading, a good post, and I'm going, oh, okay, I get it. Right? Like it's those aha moments that build our brains up for more success. And designing job alerts. I mean, that's the last one, because it's like if you are looking for a job, or even if you're just looking to grow your business, know what is out there. What are people hiring for? If I'm building, if I'm thinking that, oh, I'm going to get hired as, and I'm not anywhere close to this, but, as a creator, then do I know what people are looking for in creators? Because if I don't know that, if I haven't read through different job profiles or job announcements, I don't know how I fit in. So designing job alerts is not simply a question of letting people know, hey, I'm available. It's also a question of saying what is available. So,
Yeah, and even on the job alerts, it's more in the back end that works rather than the visibility to anyone within your network, right? The only thing with those job alerts is, do you expect to you can vary the frequency of them. So just expect a lot of inbound messaging about the various job alerts. So the tip I would advise is to tweak the frequency, because otherwise you may get a lot of spam in your inbox. But I think it's a fantastic model for anyone that's looking to take on LinkedIn. Um, the consistency that you put in on LinkedIn pays off after time. Initially, you mightn't see the results, but if you start with updating your profile, make it quite clear, and then once you're happy with your optimized LinkedIn profile, I do advise, and if you are willing to do so, to turn on your open to work banner. Do not turn it on if your profile is incomplete, like 51% of people on LinkedIn, because what actually happens with the open to work banner is that once you have it turned on, you can expect a lot of interaction from potential employers or recruiters that will view your profile. And if it's not optimized, if it's not clear, as you've mentioned, you're not going to get those conversions as a network, but also you're not going to get any messaging about potential roles. They're just going to go in and view it and probably move on to the next candidate, because it is a really competitive market out there. LinkedIn is the number one platform to find opportunities on the internet. So definitely spend the time doing the optimization. And as you say, create content if you can. If you're not really at that stage, engaging is really good. It's really good for visibility on the LinkedIn platform. So you can put the creating maybe to one side, have a look at what's working within your niche, engage, comment, and you will definitely see profile views on your profile, and opportunities will come. You know.
yeah, I really want to double down on that whole when you can't think of anything to create,
Yeah.
go out there, interact with things that you enjoy. It'll
Yeah.
give you ideas. I've had multiple people, and it just kind of got lucky because I would make something, in my post-it form, and then they get inspired to do something out of it. And I mean, they
Yeah.
always message me like, can we, do, I'm like, go for it. Because every creator out there, it's kind of like being that anonymous writer.
Mm.
You would give anything for someone to read your stuff and make that impact.
Yeah.
That somebody says, hey, you know what? I can take this to the next level.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine any genuine creator being hesitant to allowing you to take that and fly.
Yeah.
As long as they're acknowledged, I mean, that's all that people care about,
That
right?
that's the most important part, and I'm glad you touched on that. Is the credit back to the original creator, because I have seen a bit of content on platforms, LinkedIn and the like, that there's content been used that's not been created by the person that's actually sharing it. But yeah, credit the creator when sharing a piece of content. That's why I like the repost with your thoughts piece on LinkedIn. It's very much, if you see a piece of content, instead of just going for the easy option, repost, because the repost obviously adds zero for you. It benefits the creator in a little bit of the repost, but the repost with your own thoughts benefits both parties, and it'll stand out for you a lot as well. Even if it's just a few sentences, it's literally the way I look at it is, it's like if you saw the piece of content and you want to leave an insightful comment. Instead of leaving the comment, why don't you do a repost on it and include the comment as your repost with thoughts, and then you're getting a bit of traction to both the creator and yourself,
Actually, there's one more step which I'm sure you meant to say or might have forgotten, is you can actually start by making the comment and then
Yeah,
kind of wait it out if you
yeah,
think that because most authentic creators on there will respond to
mm,
comments.
yes,
And other people read that comment too. So if you start seeing that something's really resonating with the kind of people you
mm,
interact with or you would like to interact with, that's when you
yeah,
can always just go back in and convert that comment itself. I think there's a option
yes,
for it where you can say start, write a post with this comment, and it allows
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
repost
yeah.
and kind of recycle your thoughts in a much clearer manner.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's yeah, I know. I've seen that functionality, and it's like LinkedIn are giving you. Yeah, I like that comment. Start to post on it. I wonder what the reaction is. I haven't done it previously myself, where I've done a comment and got that notification or alert from LinkedIn started as a post. I wonder what the actual traction would be if you did do that. Have you done that?
On the desktop, when you write a comment,
Yeah.
it does give the option on the bottom to
It does,
start the.
yeah. Not in all of my comments though. Sometimes when I think the comment actually needs to meet a certain level of criteria, length or something like that. If you just put like great post or congratulations on this achievement, blah 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 blah, that's not going to get you that little alert from LinkedIn. But I think maybe 3 to 4 sentences in the comment, that I think triggers LinkedIn to say, "Oh, why don't you start this as a post?"
Mhm.
But yeah, great advice there, definitely.
I mean, it just makes it easy because for a lot of people, when I first started posting regularly, one of the things that I found was when you're creating content, it feels like you're talking to the void. And that's really hard to do. But
Yeah,
if you're responding to somebody else's idea, it's easier because it's a conversation. You're responding. Yes, you're bringing your own insights, but it's in the context of something that has already been brought up. And the comfort level, therefore, your authenticity, therefore, is much higher.
yes, and I think the more content you create, the less kind of um, the more freely you'll click on the post. I think the starting point is always challenging, and the first few posts are challenging, but after a while it becomes second nature and you'll just click the post without any hesitation. But yeah, just on the brand model and what LinkedIn are doing on the platform. Obviously, they've rolled out a lot of AI features to help job seekers in particular get more out of the platform and really help people get opportunities on LinkedIn. And just in the last week or so, they've rolled out another piece of AI, which I think is probably one of the better ones that I've read about on the LinkedIn platform, and it's called Job Match. So when you're obviously looking for a job through LinkedIn, you're going to apply for the role. Um, and that could be it. You don't know. You have to scan the job description, scan the requirements. Do you meet all these needs? This new AI feature from LinkedIn called Job Match scans your profile or your CV to see if you are a perfect match for the role. So it really does speed up the process for you in the sense of, yeah, you can say you're an ideal match for the role, but also it reduces the number of roles that people are applying for on LinkedIn, second guessing to see if they are a suitable match. So I think it's a good piece of AI, I think, that they've rolled out there. What are your thoughts?
I played around with it last week
Yeah,
as a part of making that brand post and other
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And one of the things that I found was it tells me what percentage of my skills
Mm,
from my profile match up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if another big rollout that they did not that long ago was that you can list up to 100 skills.
Yeah.
And it's a lot,
Yes.
but if you are like I'm a data person, right?
Yeah.
Um, and the keywords in the data field that show up in jobs may not just be Python programming. There might be machine learning, there might
Yeah.
be specific Python packages
Yeah.
that jobs are focusing on. And having that as a separate, like you can put that as a separate skill, you can keep it. Not everything is going to be public, but what happens is it allows that job match feature to look
Right.
and say, hey, you know what? These people are looking for I'm just making this up, the Seaborn package expertise in Python. You say that you have a Seaborn expertise in Python in one of your skills. Yes, you
Yeah.
probably only used it in one project, but now there's a match.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. 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 It's like you're trying to outside of that, if you were just submitting a CV to a company outside of LinkedIn, you're trying to match it on the ATS system, get through those kind of barriers or blockers that are preventing your CV or your application going to the right people within organizations. Yeah, you're completely right on the 100 skills. They had previously 50 skills available. They upped it to 100. Again, really good kind of workaround there for what you mentioned. But overall, you should be really focusing in on the quality. But if you do see that role, and I like the insight that you did provide there in the sense of it'll share out the kind of missing skills that you have,
mhm.
and then the go into your profile and add them, and then that will help you. But yeah, it's a good workaround that you've shared there. But I think
And that,
overall it is a good feature, because I think if you are applying for that role, you do obviously have a general interest in it. It's just a
mhm.
matter of getting the percentage up a little bit. Um, and I wonder on the other side, then, when you apply for the role, what are the metrics that the recruiter or the company would see from an individual perspective? Would they get um, a dashboard, say Wally McCarthy applied for this role, he's got 90% of the fit, Joe Bloggs is 70? I presume that's the kind of analytics that they'll go for, right?
I believe that
Yeah,
is true based
yeah,
on what I have discussed with folks. I also wanted to say that you mentioned the ATS, and that is a very
ATS, yeah,
critical. Yeah, for the
yeah,
making sure that your resume meets
yeah,
goes through their
yeah,
algorithm correctly.
yeah,
If you build your resume, your PDF file before you upload it, if you build it through LinkedIn, they have a resume builder. If you build it through LinkedIn, it is ATS compatible, number one.
hmm,
And number two, it offers you a AI based review of your resume once you create it. And it'll tell you
yeah.
which keywords in your industry or for your job search are missing or should be. And you need to ensure that these keywords are being used in your resume. So it
Mm.
allows you to edit it, it allows you to save it.
Yeah. I know that they had that feature. I thought they got rid of it last year, the resume builder
No, it's still there.
on,
I just
on your
built
profile.
one. No,
Did
wait, so
you?
you have to kind of go into jobs. If
Oh,
you
in
go into
jobs. They
jobs,
did have it before on your actual profile, where you could run it and create it based on the information that you had there. But within the jobs, you're completely right that is there. But as I say, it was previously something similar on your actual profile as a feature.
so on your actual profile, you can download your full profile as
Yes.
a PDF.
Yes.
And it does not have your image or banner or anything on it,
No.
but it has your contact information, your about section, your
Yeah.
education and experience.
Yes.
I think it's experience and then education, but
Yeah. 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 You're correct.
you can create that directly from your profile with just like those three dots next to the call
Yeah. Yeah.
call
Yeah. The
appointment kind
resources
of thing.
section. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you could
Yeah.
you could download the PDF there, but the resume builder
Mm.
within the jobs section,
Yeah.
is awesome.
Mm.
They also have a resume reviewer. And one additional thing that I learned is that when you go through that review section on there with your current skills, with the kind of jobs you're seeking, what are the big skills with the keywords,
Yeah.
etc. There is also a button there which takes you to all the LinkedIn learning courses that are pertinent to you. So you
Yeah.
can click on it and
Yeah.
it'll take you to LinkedIn Learning, and it'll allow you to see which of these courses.
Mm.
And it breaks it down. You've got the long course, the short
Yeah.
course, the 30-minute or less course. And you can just, if you're just trying to upskill,
Yeah.
it's the easiest way to upskill because it's right there and it tells you exactly what you need.
Yeah, and it's great what they've done there in the LinkedIn Learning for the kind of career journey or upskilling within that platform. But yeah, that's definitely. I think the that AI feature is really good, and we kind of before we previously talked about the features that they have rolled out for job seekers. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more features rolled out to help people get that opportunity on LinkedIn using the jobs feature. So yeah, let's watch this space. And
I mean, I
yeah.
like that they're really pushing that whole getting hired and using or leveraging LinkedIn, and they're trying to facilitate that. While
Ye-
most of us get stuck on, oh my God, they're doing video.
I know.
This is where the gold mine is.
It is, and I suppose it's about using it and seeing what works, and then there's being clear on what features are out there because a lot of it isn't really public knowledge. That's why I kind of share it and you share it in your posts, to make people aware that you know LinkedIn are trying to help you. It's not just a job site. It's actually a lot more. It's got all the built-in analytics and features to help you get opportunities. But then more recently, they have released the jobs on the rise report as well, LinkedIn. So again, it listed out the top jobs. No surprise there. The top two were focusing in on AI, but there were other roles there that were really interesting to see in the top 10 or top 20 that weren't AI related. So there's plenty of opportunities out there for people that aren't even considering applying AI into their role and are a little bit apprehensive. So it was an interesting read. I also read on another report about the various skills that were acquired, such as a lot of kind of soft skills, as you would probably expect. So yeah, did you get your hands on that report or?
I looked it over.
Yeah,
They had like the top 50 jobs or something, so it was a little bit
yeah,
tough to
yeah,
read.
yeah, yeah,
Especially for someone like me who's not actually looking for a job,
yeah, yeah,
So, but one of the things that I noticed, and this is just my data brain kicking in, um, even if the jobs were not explicitly seeking AI skills,
Hmm.
if somebody was looking to stand out, looking to brand themselves, learning a few skills in the AI industry that are directly relevant to what you do
yeah,
uh, will really help because we don't it's too late for people to continue to remain skeptical about AI.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's risk free, but if we can only fix what we know. So learning it, at least being familiar with it, at least knowing what it is, you know its potential is, um, would help.
Yeah, you certainly can't ignore it. You have to, and there's a lot out there for resources, even just a search on YouTube to get up to speed on that. But you can't ignore AI, and I think the best kind of approach is to find use cases within your industry or your role and see how it's been used. And that's how you can start to say, oh yeah, that'll actually benefit me on a day to day. It's those use cases that I think are really good as a starting point. Because
Yeah,
otherwise
there,
it can become quite overwhelming for people.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if they are just theoretical use cases
Yeah,
in certain
yeah,
industries, that's where it's at.
yeah,
But it shows you the trend where the market's going to go.
yeah,
So, if you start picking up those skills when you have the time, when you're,
yeah,
trying to build your brand, you're trying to build your career, you're trying to get a job, you have that little bit of extra time, and just 15 to 30 minutes a day, if you just put that aside to learn something that can help your industry, it positions you much better.
yeah. Because the speed of AI is crazy, right? Because right now we're probably looking at another topic on AI agents. So last year it was very much ChatGPT, and towards the end of that year when it came out. But this year the pace is going to be probably AI agents. So if you haven't even got up to speed on the ChatGPT and how it works, you are kind of lagging well behind, because I think 2025 is going to be the AI agents, and it's a different ball game altogether, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely a step up. What
yeah,
concerns me is that the percentage of people that I see, because there's an chamber effect in
yeah,
LinkedIn as well. The people that you constantly interact with, like if I'm interested in AI and AI agents, I'm going to see a lot more about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But when I break out of that barrier, that's one of the reasons why, even though I can customize my feed, I refuse to do it,
yeah.
because I kind of want that. No, I want to hear what's going on outside, what I really like.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, I'm the same in a way, but there are certain things that I do need to say no, stop. And I think it kind of nearly it goes back to the creator. If you have a strong creator with that knowledge, you're like, yeah, I want to hone in on this, and but there's others then that don't really add that value. So you need to manage your feed as well. That's
mm.
another thing. But yeah, I'm the exact same as yourself when it comes to LinkedIn.
I mean, I have created certain custom feeds,
Mm.
because sometimes I'm just short of time, and these are the
Yeah.
people whose stuff I want to make sure I read.
Yes.
But for the most part, I use my non-filtered version.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then I switch over to the filtered version when I'm like, okay, I have like 30 minutes and I want to make sure that I read all the stuff that people
Yeah.
I admire or
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
have posted. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm the exact same. But yeah, like we could have a separate discussion on AI and the impact it's having across various industries. But the final kind of topic I want to cover is another report from LinkedIn. And LinkedIn have really, I suppose, since the last quarter maybe of 2024. And it kind of started off with video, where they are really pushing these reports, these guidelines to LinkedIn users to really get them to get more out of the platform. And the more recent one was the marketing strategy for 2025. So obviously, as a kind of the title or the headline, it's about how you can position yourself on LinkedIn using the marketing strategy so that you can get opportunities, seize business, etc. And two of the key areas that I saw on that strategy report were the live events and video. So straight away, to me, they want people to showcase themselves in person on live events, because now live events are no longer audio. That's going to be the back to the live camera view, and video obviously, as we both know, they released their new video feature last year. So if you want to get more out of LinkedIn, and my interpretation is, and I've always been of this opinion, in 2025, is you need to start showing up on camera within 2025 on LinkedIn.
yeah, one way or another.
Yeah.
Like for me, I do a lot of lives or
Yes.
discussions like this. This
Yeah.
is where, um, but doing a daily video with that's harder for a
Yeah.
variety of reasons. But then I have my posted videos, so it's just like find what works for you, and you kind of you'll find the right people.
Yeah, like I suppose when you look at content, you don't want to come across as spam either. You know, you don't want to be filling up people's feed and saying, "Oh, what you're only one bad post away from someone saying, "Oh, I'm not really interested in that piece of content," and they're clicking not interested. You need to manage it correctly and only share kind of the value, maybe just the one a day post. But if you have a further piece of content that's really valuable, why not share it? I do occasionally do share 2 posts a day, but I will split like the time period between both posts, maybe 5 to 6 hours in between. Um, but yeah, like it does. If you look at other platforms, there seems to be a myth when it comes to LinkedIn and sharing content. You know, other platforms, you could share a piece every few minutes, you know, if you wished. I think it's just LinkedIn, they've come up with this to say, oh, don't share multiple pieces of content. And maybe it's because the quality of the content and the actual content itself, the more kind of in-depth content as opposed to other platforms. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but I think for 2025, start using video. Lives are good, or even just if you are looking to create your own video, less than 90 seconds is the optimal time. Um, yeah, it mightn't be the first one mightn't be great, but practice, 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 and it's only 90 seconds, and you're putting yourself out there. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the reasons why LinkedIn is a little bit different from other social
Yeah,
media platforms is also because it's a very different audience.
yeah,
No, so I
yeah,
mean, we can do a whole talk on that, but that's what makes it unique. It's you're talking. It's like the social media for professional use, right? Uh,
yes,
every once in a while, throwing in something personal is perfectly acceptable
mm,
because it makes you who you are. It brings
yeah,
out your authenticity. But it's not about sharing pictures of your dogs or kids or oh my god, look how cute. You know, it's not that LinkedIn will penalize you. It's just that people who already know you will appreciate or like that little insight into your life. But
yeah,
typically, um, not if that's all you do, then you're not going to get much traction. If
yeah,
like I said, if you know me and if I were to post a picture with my kids, then Wally is going to be like, hey Critty, that was really cool to see your kids, right?
yeah,
But if I did that only all the time, then there's no reason for Wally. Okay, I don't know what Critty does, but I know she's a mom. you know
yeah, 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 yeah. No, I got you. It's again going back to knowing your platform. You know, it's and you do see it occasionally. Sometimes people get the content completely wrong, but as you say, there's nothing wrong with sharing personal stories, etc. But just on occasion, you know.
Yeah. My plus the Legos every once in a while are always
Ah, yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with sharing a piece of Lego content. You know, that's allowed. You know.
yeah, yeah, right there.
What piece of have you got another piece of Lego that you're going to go at or
No,
no?
probably not.
Yeah,
Not anytime soon. I just did
yeah,
one
yeah,
recently.
yeah,
But yeah, every Sunday I do something that is completely like either fun or
yeah,
inspirational, just to kind of break up the monotony of
yeah,
thinking too much.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I enjoy that Lego post to be honest. But yeah, today's discussion was an excellent as usual. Covered a lot, and I hope our viewers got something out of it, even if they're not looking for a job, but they've found out what features are taking place and been released on LinkedIn, what what they need to focus in on 2025 to get more out of the platform, and that is to really show your own personal self on LinkedIn, and you will start to see the results. As always, fantastic to speak with you, and appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sure we'll have another LinkedIn update session in a month's time, maybe, depending on
Exactly.
how many releases LinkedIn are going to deploy between now and February.
Yes.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, Wally.